Listen up, I got a story to tell. We're raising hell every Monday and Thursday.
Culture, listen up, I got a story to tell. We're raising hell every Monday and Thursday. Pop culture unleashed, facts unfiltered, hype increased. Just unleashed, breaking through the screen, living in chaos, creating the dream. This is where rage and humor collide, so hold on tight. I got that drive in me, for the life of me, staying truly thankful for the fans I see. Talking to people of all types, making the chat hype. The more united we are, the higher we all fly. I got that drive in me, for the life of me, stand truly thankful for the fans I see. Talking to people of all types, making the chat hype. The more united we are, the higher we all fly. Unleashed, breaking through the screen, living in chaos, creating the dream. This is where rage and humor collide, so hold on. Starts igniting, my brain starts igniting. When Shane starts writing, God placed us in this fighting to speak and enlighten. We don't sleep to dream, we sleep to build stamina, energy to do our thing. Get your camera lights dim, the chat starts to grin. The stream is live and buffering, the show is about to begin. So sit down and buckle it in. This is Unleashed, breaking through the screen. Pop culture chaos, living the dream, and the dream. Every Monday and Thursday, pop culture unleashed, living the...
You know what the problem with Hollywood is? They make shit. Unbelievable, unremarkable shit.
To those who can hear me, I say, do not despair.
Will you fight? No! We will run! And we will live!
Shame on you! This could be the greatest night of our lives. But you're gonna let it be the worst.
And I guarantee a week won't go by in your life you won't regret walking out, letting them get the best of you.
Well, I'm not going home.
Day may come when the courage of men fails, but it is not this day.
The line must be drawn here. This far, no farther.
I'm not saying it's gonna be easy.
You're gonna work harder than you ever worked before.
I really do believe that together we can accomplish anything.
Because we'll never stop learning and we'll never stop growing.
Failure is not an option.
That's how winning is done. Believe me when I say
We can break this army here. It has made us brothers.
I say to you, what every warrior has known since the beginning of time.
You've got to get mad.
I mean plumb mad dog mean.
If you would be free men, then you must fight to fulfill that promise. Let us cut out their living guts
1 inch at a time.
And they will know what we can do!
Let no man forget how menacing we are. We are lions.
This is your time. Seize the day.
Never surrender. Victory or death.
So come on then! Take it!
This is where we hold them. This is where we fight.
All right, let's fly! My name is the Lord. When I
tell our enemies that they may take our lives, but they'll never take
our Independence Day. You, the people, have the power to create machines, the power to create happiness. You, the people, have the power to make this life free and beautiful, to make this life a wonderful adventure. Then in the name of democracy, let us use that power. Let us all unite. Let us fight for a new world.
We don't sleep to dream, we sleep to build stamina, energy to do our thing. Get your camera. This show is about to begin, so sit down and buckle it in. Let's go!
Yeah, buddy. Welcome to Thursday. If you don't know who I am, I'll let you know. My name is Brian, and you are watching Pop Culture Unleashed every Thursday at 4 p.m. My brother Shane is on tour right now, so he's not going to be back for a couple weeks. I am being joined by Danny, but Danny is running late. So let me tell you what we're talking about today. Yes, we're going to talk about the whole Dr. DisRespect thing going on, because there's a lot to discuss there. A lot of weirdness, a lot of creepiness. And we got to talk about it. It's in the news. It's way too popular. Also, the Mary Sue recently posted their 14 best captains. Not recently, it was last year. But 14 best captains in Star Trek ranked. And that list made me want to punch someone in the face so hard. I can't wait to talk about it. Also, a wild theory about Section 31 coming up, and from Screen Rant that I actually believe is correct. We're going to discuss that. We also have a really cool review coming up for The Boys. Season 4, episode 5 was fantastic. We're going to have to discuss it a little bit. We'll try to keep the spoilers out. We'll try. And Superman recently, as in Superman Legacy, the Superman coming out next year by James Gunn, recently had a ton of leaked photos. And boy, is that exciting. We're going to go through those photos. And I got a theory. I got a wild theory on this. And a friend of mine posted a video recently after we talked where he also agrees with me. And I think that we're going to have to talk about it because it's pretty... I think it's a wild thing. I think James Gunn has just enough balls to actually do it. And so we're going to talk about that. But first, I want to say hello to my friends out there. All you wonderful people watching. Yoron, Chappie, Jeremy, John Mark Pierre, Anthony Mark, Penny, Archmage. How you guys doing? I'm so glad you're here. Do me a favor, hit the like button. The only way, also Wolverine's here. The only way we grow is if we promote ourselves, right? Via like, shared, that kind of stuff. If we don't promote ourselves, then we're not going to grow. And I have something I want to show you guys. Normally, I don't show people this. But since we started, since we got demonetized last year, we were demonetized for like 3 months, right? When we got demonetized, we were gaining about 150 on this channel. We were gaining about 150 subscribers a week, easily, every show. And it just stopped. The second we got demonetized, we dropped to no new subscribers. And we started losing subscribers. We were losing like 100 a month, basically. And then it was like 50 a month. Then it was like 80 a month. And this is how it works. So people do subscribe. But according to YouTube, there are more people unsubscribing than subscribing, probably because politics, we weren't talking about Star Trek enough, and the demonetization wasn't helping. So normally when you're monetized and you're being promoted, your subscriber count, that your gain is higher than your loss, so you don't really see it. But we were seeing it. As of today, I'm going to show you this, and I normally don't show people this, we are at -3. For the first time ever, we were about to be at a net 0 loss of subscribers since the demonetization. So help me out. Like the video. Like the live streams. And tweet it out or share it out or whatever. Tell people to watch live. Watching live when, the entire channel is all about a live show every week is pretty important. Now, you can watch the archive. That's great. I appreciate it. If you watch the archive right now, do me a favor and comment on top of liking. Help me promote this channel, and we can finally get that subscriber count to a net positive instead of a net loss. If you would be so gracious to do that for me, that would be awesome. Yeah, but we are, Chappie, thank you. We're finally getting back. We're finally getting back to a net positive. We are literally, this is the first week. We are only -3 subscribers. And it was bad for a time. It was like -187 subscribers every week. But we are finally leveling out. So the demonetization, it looks like, even after we got remonetized, I think it definitely holds on, it stays on your account like some kind of hidden mark for a long time. And it's just really hard to get out of. And I think a lot of people think that once you get demonetized, you just need to back out because you're never going to be the same. So most people leave their channel and don't come back. But we weren't going to do that because we like doing the show. It's not about the money, right? It's about the community. If it was about the money, well, we wouldn't be doing it. But the community was dropping, and now it's finally about to be at a 0. So do me a favor, like the video. If you're watching on archive, comment. Just whatever. You ask a question, make a statement, share a thought, whatever you want to do. That said, I do appreciate you being here. If you want to become a member, please hit the join button, bottom left. After this show, we're going to be going into the member section. We're going to talk a little bit about the debate. I'm actually going to try to stream a little bit of it, and just make fun of the various ridiculously old people up there yelling at each other. And we're just going to shoot the shit, just hang out. Take our pants off and look at some memes. So if you want to join us for that, it's always a fun time. Hit the join button. We are about 23 people away from 100 members. So we are very close to 100 members. So if you want to become a member, you want to gift a membership, that would be awesome. And we can build this pirate ship together. All right, let's look at this 14 best captains thing, because it is ridiculous. Oh. And you know what? I want to know in the chat, please, out of all the captains right now, rank your favorite captains in order of 14, right? Well, I guess 13 technically. Rank your favorite captains in order, 1 to 10, 12, whatever it is. And then we're going to look at this Mary Sue. While you're doing that, I'm going to pull up the Mary Sue article, and we're going to go through the captains. And we're going to scream together at how insane this is. How ridiculously stupid this is. Oh my God, the Dork Knight, who is in the chat, but not here. But I think the Dork Knight is coming. Just gifted 10 memberships. Thank you, Danny. I appreciate it. Danny will be joining us in about 10 to 15 minutes, I'm assuming. All right. Pants off will be in 10 minutes. For me, Danny, I got to wait until the membership section to take my pants off. So I think my pants will be off in about an hour. So, Ian, what's up, man? Hey, Brian, so glad I can catch the stream live. I usually just watch later. Keep hanging in there, praying for y'all. I smell a comeback. Let's go. Let's go. Yes, my man. All right. It's okay, Danny. No big deal, man. Life happens. I'm just glad you're still coming on the show. For a minute there, when I saw your text, I thought you were going to be like, oh, I can't make it, bro. my boss has me working late. And I was like, no. All right, let's talk about this article. The Mary Sue. This is from the Mary Sue, and they are ranking the best. I don't know why websites do this. Let me adjust this real quick so you can see it. There you go. The Mary Sue, they're ranking the best captains 14-1. And at number 14, Jonathan Archer. So on their list, Jonathan Archer is dead last. Even more embarrassing, infuriating, and humiliating to them and their horrible taste, they put him after every other Starfleet captain not listed by name. He couldn't even beat people that didn't have a name. What? And it's so insulting. This is what they said. Captain Archer, Scott Bakula from the Enterprise, is the worst captain from the worst Star Trek series, and I will not be taking any notes on that. It's not just that he's brash, arrogant, overconfident, which is what you want in a captain. I'd have to condemn most of the people on this list if that were the case. He's also an unapologetic bigot for most of the show and apparently incapable of respecting alien cultures unless they involve sexual slavery. Ugh. Who wrote this? Oh. Okay, so it's a woman, I think, that wrote it. I'm assuming. Sybin Ball. Well, she has horrible taste. So he's at number 14. Number 13 is every other Starfleet captain. So she literally has a thing. Like, she has it out for Captain Archer, for sure. I don't know why. Maybe it's because, the decon chambers. Maybe all those. I mean, obviously, Enterprise had a lot of, sexualization, for sure. But I thought it made it better. Maybe I'm a sexist. I don't think so. he has some this person has some really bad takes on this, but I'm not going to read the entire thing. If you want to read it after the show, I'll list the articles, all the articles I talk about in the description. All right, so the number 13 on our list was every other Starfleet captain not listed by name. I will also not be taking notes on this one. Archer is literally the worst, and the only reason I haven't listed every other captain in existence ahead of him is because we don't know enough about them to fill out an entry. All right. Number 12, Kelvin versus Captain Kirk. Chris Pine's Captain Kirk. Honestly, Chris Pine's Captain Kirk is very appealing. When he gets going, he can achieve quite a lot. The problem is, unlike original Kirk, there's not an actual thought in his head. It's full on head empty, no thoughts here kind of situation, which is a problem in a captain. Kelvin versus Kirk is sweet, a himbo, if you will, and he's loyal and brave and self-sacrificing, but he doesn't make good decisions or think through at all before he acts. I mean, she sort of has a point there, but he made good decisions in relying on his crew. I just don't agree. Number 11, Carol Freeman, and I don't agree with this either. I actually like the lower decks captain. I know that sounds crazy, but I thought she was a pretty good captain, and I thought that series, like, overall was a good series. I liked Lower Decks more than I liked Strange New Worlds and obviously Discovery, so I don't know where she's going here. But what she says was, Captain of the Cerritos and Ensign Beckett Mariner's mother, Captain Freeman of Star Trek Lower Decks, clocks in at number 11 on this list, partly because we don't know much about her outside of the contentious relationship with her daughter. A relationship that sometimes leads to Freeman making bad decisions for the ship and Mariner both. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's sort of true. I mean, yeah, she has a good point there that she does make decisions based on being a mother, but I think that's pretty normal. So did Captain Kirk in the movies. I mean, all captains tend to make decisions based on the people they love. They try to do their duty first, but yeah, of course, your child is going to come into. It's going to be part of your decision. It's going to weigh on your decision, and when it's your child, I don't know. 10. I mean, I think we agree here. I would put Philip Giorgio probably 10 on the list. She's not the worst, but she's not the best either. She wasn't bad in that first couple episodes, but we didn't see much of her. So this is what she says. Giorgio, my love, you were taken from us too soon. A phenomenal captain, Philippa Giorgio. Michelle Yeoh was brave, compassionate, incredibly inventive, with an adaptable, tactical mind. So she's basically giving her the 10 slot because we didn't get to know her. Whatever. Number 9, the original James Kirk. Oh my God, screw you. All right, this is what she says about Kirk, Captain Kirk. The original Captain Kirk is a high achiever, sure. The man gets spectacular results, and that counts for a lot here, but he's not the most responsible of leaders in the Star Trek universe. While his willingness to take huge risk and act out instinct allowed him to pull off seemingly impossible things, going back in time to save whales, defeating the Greek god of Apollo, and bringing Spock back from the dead in Search for Spock, he also got so many low-ranking crewmen killed that the entire Red Chute trope is named after him. I mean, she's not wrong, but this number is wrong. Obviously, that's number 9. Get out of here. William Riker. I wouldn't even put William Riker on this list. I mean, I guess I would have put him before Burnham, but yeah, I mean, he was technically a captain in Picard, so yeah, I guess. Like Sulu, Riker is an excellent officer and an extremely competent captain. He's a irreverent, cheerful disposition, and before settling down with Troy, womanizing tendencies in the Next Generation often seen written off as a frivolous and irresponsible, but this couldn't be further from the truth. Riker is a deeply empathic, compassionate man with a strong sense of justice and responsibility, blah, blah, blah. Great. So Sulu would have been way low on my list. Not because I dislike Sulu, but because he certainly doesn't deserve to be before Riker. We saw more of Riker as a captain than Sulu. We barely see Sulu in the movies as captain. It's like we barely see him. So if you're judging, like if you judged Giorgio based on how much you saw the character, then Sulu should be way far on this list. But whatever, she puts Sulu at 7. I think there's a little bit of a political thing here, is why she put Sulu at 7, because he's like an openly gay man or something. But we'll see. A certified badass. Hakuro Sulu is an incredible officer and even better captain, suave, dashing, and incredibly cool in a crisis. Sulu, as captain of the Excelsior, was integral to salvaging the Federation Klingon peace process in undiscovered country. Like all the best captains, Sulu knew exactly when to ignore or outright disobey the Federation because the bigger picture called for it. Okay, sure. Whatever you say. I'm sorry. This person is number 6 ahead. I'm a Trekkie, and I barely recognize this person's face. I certainly wouldn't if you asked me who is Trilith Scott, I would be like, I don't know. I don't know who this person is. Whatever, okay, so Trilith Scott is ahead of Sulu and Captain Kirk and William Riker. Sure, makes complete sense. Makes complete sense! Trilith only made a brief appearance, but she had to make it into this list because of all she achieved in her short life. No, let's be real. She made it in your list because she's a POC. That's why you did that, because you're a raging lunatic. The youngest person who achieved the rank of captain in Starfleet, Trilith was one of the 4 officers, including Picard, who realized that Starfleet had been taken over by parasitic aliens and conspiracy. Oh, that's right. She was in the conspiracy. Unfortunately, Trilith was killed before she managed to fulfill her potential, as one of the aliens took control of her body. We saw so little of this person. She doesn't deserve to be on this list. I'm sorry. Whatever. Christopher Pike, number 5. I like Christopher Pike, but I would not put him this high on the list. I would not put him before Captain Kirk. I would not put him before. I might put him before Sulu. But probably not Riker. Yeah, probably not Riker, but certainly not before the original Captain Kirk. That's insane. Well, this is what she says about him. Brave and principled, Christopher Pike served as captain and mentor to both Spock and in the alternative Kelvin timeline, Kirk. Initially a stickler for the rules, Pike learned to be adaptable when the greater good required him to bend or flout Starfleet regulations, blah, blah. Sure, okay. Number 4! Michael Burnham is number 4. What did you expect? For real. Did you expect Michael Burnham to be any place than the top 5? Okay. This is what she says about Michael Burnham. This is why she ranks Michael Burnham so high. Here we go. Michael Burnham's capacity, captaincy, I can't say the word. Her time as a captain was hard won and a long time coming. 3 seasons. No, see, I'm going to stop that. She should never have been captain. She not only was treasonous twice, she put so many people so many people killed in the Klingon War. She started an entire war. She never deserved to be captain. She deserved to be locked up in a prison somewhere. In a Federation prison with Tom Paris breaking rocks. She never deserved to be captain, and her ascendance to the captain's chair was not even gifted. She wasn't promoted to it. It happened through circumstance. It's not the same thing. But here's what she says. It was thoroughly deserved. I disagree. Not only had Burnham played a key part in destroying the Emerald Chain, allowing for the reformation of the Federation, right, after she had to go to the future. Because of, all right, whatever. I'm going to stop commentating, and I'm just going to read what she says. But she'd also demonstrated impressive leadership capabilities once, again and again. Captain Burnham continued to be a solid leader who refused to abandon people in need and was willing to take on any and all risk in dangerous situations to protect her crew. When dealing with non-Federation cultures and civilians, Burnham balanced respect for that culture with respect for individual life and agency, and was unwilling to abandon prisoners to die at the request of civil authorities. Yeah, I thoroughly disagree. Michael Burnham should not even be on this list. I don't care if she eventually was given the role as captain. Okay, I would argue that they should have started her as captain in the series if they wanted the show to be about her. But her actions canonically disallow her, literally take her out of running to be a captain, and should only have placed her in a prison, a jail cell, maybe like some kind of work furlough or something like Tom Paris got, but certainly not the captain's chair. She got so many people killed. She was treasonous twice and started a war with the Klingons. Like, she disobeyed so often. I'm not going to go into the Discovery. Discovery is a horrible show. If you like it, that's great. But it is honestly one of the worst science fiction shows I've ever seen, because its logic doesn't make any sense. The logic never adds up. But it's certainly the worst Star Trek show I've ever seen. Hands down. And a big reason for that, sorry to say, a big reason for that is Michael Burnham. She is the worst part of that show, at least, not every season, but in 3 out of the 5 seasons, I would say she is the worst part of the show. She is she's the cringe. She is the catalyst for all the worst parts of those episodes. Definitely does not deserve to be number 4 on this list. So, number 3, Catherine Janeway. Sure. I guess that works. I love Janeway. She's one of my favorite captains. I'm not going to disagree with that. Number 2, Jean-Luc Picard. Sure. Okay. See, I would have a hard time. I would have a hard time with which captain I like more, Picard or Janeway. If I was judging solely based on The Next Generation and nothing else, I would say Picard is going to edge out Janeway. But when you add like Picard seasons 1 and 2 to the mix, I'm like, well, I think Janeway edges out Picard. But my number 1 is going to be the guy who started it all. The guy who is the template for captain. It's got to be Captain Kirk. And after that, if I took everything into account, I would say then Janeway, then Picard, then Sisko, and then Archer. Well, you know what? Let me finish this list, and then we'll go through. Then I'll give you my ranking. And the number 1 is Benjamin Sisko, of course, because I know this kind of person. Like Benjamin Sisko is always her number 1. Like this person probably goes and talks all about how, you know, they had the LGBT rights were like front and foremost in the show, and she likes Deep Space Nine for all the reasons that don't really matter, versus all the morality and tough situations that Sisko was put in, that he was able to not only come out victorious, but also, you know, protect the people around him. There's a lot of reasons to like Sisko, and I don't think she likes him for all the reasons that we do. But I still wouldn't put him as number 1. Now, where would I put him? I'll tell you my list. I'm going to go Captain Kirk first, and I'll tell you why. Captain Kirk first, not because he's like my favorite captain to watch per se, but because he is the template. He started it all. So you get a large part of your score in my mind comes from what you set up for other people. You know, what he did set up the entire legacy for Star Trek. So I'm gonna put Captain Kirk first, number 1, and then I think if you take it all into account, including Picard seasons 1 and 2, where Picard was horrible, I'm going to go Janeway. Because Janeway was solid through and through. So Captain Kirk, Janeway, and then because TNG was so good, I'm going to put Picard number 3. And then I'll put Sisko as number 4 because he was great. He also accomplished a lot. And it was a new show, was sort of a new premise where it's like at a space station. It's just not a ship exploring new worlds or whatever. So, and he pulled it off. So number 4, Sisko. And then number 5, I'd probably put I can't put William Riker that high on the list. So I'm going to put Sulu as number 5. And then number 6, I'll put Riker. Number 7, I'll put Pike. Number 8, I'll put Carol Freeman from LDS. Number 9, I'll put Kelvin versus Captain Kirk. And it's sort of a toss-up between those two, but, whatever. I'm sorry. Archer comes before that. I apologize. Back up. Archer comes before Sulu for me. Then after Archer, it goes Sulu, Riker, Carol Freeman, Kelvin versus Captain Kirk, Chris Pine, Captain Kirk, and then everyone else. And at the very end of that list, including all the no-name captains that I don't even remember, including that random captain that she put so high on her list that was in one episode of one series, Twyla Scott. Even after Twyla Scott is Michael Burnham, because I believe that Michael Burnham in that show did more damage to the thing I love than any other captain in 60 years of Star Trek. Yeah. I mean, but if I have to put her on a list, Wolverine, if I had to put her on a list, she's got to be at the very end. Yeah, you're right, Archmates. I did not mean to put Kelvin Kirk over Archer. Archer comes before that. I would go, Archer comes after the original captain. So it's probably like Kirk, Janeway, Picard, Sisko, Archer. Those are my top 5. And I'm only putting Archer at the very end of that list because Sisko is so great. Because Picard is so great. Because Janeway is so great. Like, honestly, like, I like them all. And my favorite thing to rewatch is probably Voyager and then Enterprise. But still, you gotta give respect where respect's due. And Sisko comes before Archer. What they accomplished at the time was just so good. Okay. We got a couple of super chats. Make sure I get them all here. Yeah, that's a pretty good list. Like I said, they're so close to each other. I'm not like saying like, Sisko, Archer is better. Sorry, Sisko is better than Archer. I'm saying that like he has to come before Archer. Even if I enjoy Archer more, I believe he did more for the series, for the franchise. Oh, that's right. She didn't even put Lorca on the list, or Saru, or Rayner. That's wild. All right, whatever. All right, super chats. John Burns. Is it John Burns first? I think it is. Yeah, John Burns first. John Burns for 279 says, I loved Madam Web pitch meeting from the Misleading Punt. Yeah, with George Ryan. Oh, Ryan George. Yeah, that was great. All right. Ian Smith. The only reason she got out was Mir Lorca. That's true. Yeah, Mir Lorca got her out of prison, right? So on some kind of work furlough or something. That's correct. I like Mir Lorca more than I liked Burnham. Like, legit. Did Janeway commit ACA? This is from John Burns. Did Janeway commit ACA over species? ACA? What does that mean, bro? I don't know what specify what that means. I don't know what ACOM means, man. She did get a little weird with species 8472. She hooked up she allied herself with the Borg to kill or to defeat 8472 because she saw them as the bigger threat. Which is what gave us Scorpion in 1 and 2, which is awesome. Chappie for $2.99. Burnham is the itch in the crotch of Star Trek. Yes, I agree. God, I hate that character so much. Like, I literally despise that character. No love for the war. This is from John Burns. No love for the war hero, Scottish miracle worker. Oh, that's right. He was a captain. He needs to be on that list. How is he not on that list? I love me some Scotty. Hard to consider him a captain now because, I mean, he was eventually a captain, but for the longest amount of time, you know, he was the engineer. I also liked, Crimes Against Humanity. That's true. I see. My bad, John. Yeah, I guess she sort of did. Like, she was going to commit genocide, right? Like, it was bad. But she didn't, so. Yeah, Shaw. Yeah, Shaw wasn't. Why is Shaw not on the list? Yeah, I don't get it. I don't understand why Shaw wouldn't be on that list either. But yeah, Shaw and say I think Shaw would come, and no offense to Sulu, but I think Shaw would come before Sulu. I liked Sulu, but we barely saw through Sulu as captain. We saw an entire. We got to know as captain, anyways. We got to know Shaw more as captain than we got to know Sulu as captain. But it's sort of a toss-up. I don't know. Correct, Wolverine. Cisco also threatened genocide against founders or whatever they're called. The liquid people. Changelings. I forgot their name for a second. All right. So yeah, let me see what your rankings were. Here's one that's good from Wolverine. OG Kirk, Archer, Picard, Cisco, Janeway, Strange New World, Pike. Yeah, I think Pike deserved to be a little higher on that list, but I certainly wouldn't put him before original Kirk. That's insane. Sorry, that's insane. That's not bad. That's not a bad list. Ian Smith, Kirk, Picard, Cisco, Archer, Janeway. Yeah, Archer deserves to be higher on the list. I agree. Irish Martin makes phrase. Archer is last. Quit this list now, please. Yeah, it's so silly. It's so insane. Okay, let me see where Danny's at, and then we can move on. Danny, I'm not sure if you're in chat, but let me know how far you are away. I don't want to start the other thing until you're here. Okay. All right, so that's the best Starfleet captains. Let's talk about, while we're talking about Star Trek, let's just jump right into the next thing. Let's talk about Section 31. All right, just a second, guys. I'm going to pull it up. Normally I pull stuff up while other people are talking, but my boy Danny is not here right now, so I couldn't do it. All right. Okay, so this is from Screen Rant. From Screen Rant, we have this is what the headline is. I have a Star Trek theory about what Michelle Yeoh is really doing in Section 31. And I think I agree with this. And I'm going to explain why. Before you get your panties in a bunch, I'll explain why. It says, I have a theory about Star Trek Section 31 and what Michelle Yeoh, Emperor Philippa Georgiou, is doing in Star Trek's first streaming movie. Section 31 is Academy Award winner Michelle Yeoh's long-awaited return to Star Trek. Georgiou was written out of Star Trek Discovery Season 3 so that she can top-line its Section 31 spinoff, which was originally to be an ongoing series before it was refashioned into the Star Trek movie made for streaming on Paramount+. But what is Giorgio up to in Star Trek Section 31? Interesting, they say Star Trek Section 31 like 6 times in the first paragraph so that the SEO, triggers, but not everyone knows that. Aside from Emperor Giorgio, the cast of Star Trek Section 31 has not had their character names revealed except for one. We know that Casey Roll is playing Rachel Garrett, the younger version of the doomed captain of the USS Enterprise C from Star Trek The Next Generation's Yesterday's Enterprise. We also know that Star Trek Section 31 is at least partly set in Star Trek's early 21st century Lost era, before the events of TNG. Even without knowing who they are playing, some of the Section 31 actors resemble younger versions of other Star Trek Legacy characters. So Rachel Garrett may be the tip of the iceberg in the Paramount Plus streaming movie. I theorize that Emperor Giorgio is recruiting several Star Trek Legacy characters into Section 31. And I agree with this, because this is like literally the plot from one of the video games. Not Section 31, but like recruiting people in time. So recruiting several Star Trek Legacy characters into Section 31, possibly to bring the organization down from the inside, or to create her own splinter version of the Starfleet Black Ops agency. And like Rachel Garrett, Giorgio would be tapping into idealistic young Starfleet officers to join her squad. Looking at Section 31's actors, it's not out of the question that Sam Richardson could be playing Joseph Sisko, the father of Captain Benjamin Sisko. I don't agree with that, by the way, but whatever. Joseph's harboring a secret past with Section 31 could explain his distrust of Starfleet later in life, which often frustrated Ben. I don't agree with that particular casting, but I do agree that they could, think about this. She can be going back and getting Trip right before he dies. Going back and getting Rachel Garrett right before she dies. Think about this. Think about Star Trek, but Legends of Tomorrow, right? So instead of, in Legends, the guy went into the past and he found people basically before they were going to be written out of history. And he lied to them and said that you're going to be legends and I need your help. And they went with them. So she can be going and literally taking people out of certain death where they wouldn't affect the timeline anymore, and adding these people to her team and creating sort of a all-stars version of dead Star Trek heroes. Right? Rachel Garrick, we can get Trip. There's so many characters that you can go and pull from history, and they could be playing, obviously maybe Trip not, because what are you going to get, a younger version of Trip when the guy's still old enough to play the character, but I don't know. Is what it says. It continues. One of Section 31's mission statement is to bridge the version seen in Star Trek Discovery with the secret agency introduced in Star Trek Deep Space Nine in Discovery's early seasons. I think it was actually introduced in, I guess timeline-wise, it was introduced first in DS9, but canonically, it was introduced in Enterprise, I think. Section 31 was common knowledge within Starfleet, but in DS9, Section 31's existence was off the books, and not even Captain Sisko knew of them at first. All right, they're going to try to retcon their horrible writing of Discovery into somehow bridging the gap between those two things that can no longer be a complaint. Section 31's producers indicated that the movie explains how the Black Ops division was wiped from records so that an entire generation of Starfleet officers didn't know they existed, and it would reveal why anyone previously associated with Section 31 would keep their mouths tightly shut. It continues, with Star Trek Section 31 revealing that popular legacy characters like Joseph Sisko, the future Captain Rachel Garrick, or part of the Black Ops agency be canon breaking? Not necessarily. Rather, it would be canon additive. Recruiting the right Star Trek Legacy characters to join Section 31, if that is indeed what Giorgio is doing, could add fascinating new layers to familiar ancillary characters. Done properly with cleverness, Legacy characters in Section 31 could enhance their prior appearances in Star Trek and further explain their motivations and behavior. So I'm just going to go full screen for a second. Sounds like you're fitting to ruin some characters we really like. That's what it sounds like to me. Sounds like instead of one prequel, let's make a movie that allows us to ruin all kinds of characters simultaneously at the same exact time. I don't know. Hopefully that's not the case. Now, I do believe that it would be a really cool concept if Giorgio was quite literally traveling through time and snatching people out of history right before they die. And, you know, forming basically a team of these legendary sacrificial heroes. And that'd be interesting. Now, do I think Joseph Sisko should be on that team? No. I have zero thoughts about Joseph Sisko. Like, it was Sisko's dad. Cool. Who cares? I don't care. Like, I don't need to see anything more about that character than we've already seen. I don't need to see him as part of another series. I think it's dumb to even try. I really think it's just stupid. I can see them trying to get a young Sisko, but then that would ruin like actual Captain Sisko. But that would really mess up Deep Space Nine because he was very specific about not knowing anything about Section 31. So hopefully they don't do that. But Rachel Garrett is a good pick. I mentioned before Trip that they would probably have to recast him. They can't get the same Trip now. He's a little too old for the role. There's plenty of characters that were killed throughout time that didn't get a whole lot of time to shine that we can see in the show. And I'm here for that. If they actually do that, that's a really cool thing to do. As long as it's not actively ruining characters we already care about or trying to make us care about characters that don't really require any more explanation. You know how I feel about prequels? I hate them. I think they're stupid. I almost refuse to watch them. I have no interest in prequels whatsoever. But this is Star Trek, and I'm probably going to watch anything Star Trek, and I did sort of like Giorgio at some moments. I didn't hate her. I'm interested in what they're going to do with it. Am I excited about a Section 31 show? No. Not. I don't really care. But this intrigues me. Because this would be something that would definitely get me excited is not the right word, but like more interested in watching it if she was pulling, Legends of Tomorrow, basically. I think that would be cool. So, what do you guys think? Oh, I like that. You're right, Archmage. That's a good point. Trip isn't too old. Just say he was recruited 10 years ago and he has aged now. Yeah. Yeah, you can literally, instead of showing her recruiting him, he can call up from engineering or whatever, and they can introduce him as being already recruited. While, and have her recruiting, Rachel Barrett or whatever, Rachel Garrett. That would be cool. Yeah, that would be cool. And he's been operating, Section 31 for 20 years or whatever it has been, 15 years. Give him some makeup and call it 10, Sisko's dad also played Admiral Cartwright in the two last movies. Oh, yeah, I didn't remember that. I guess you're right. Yeah, you're right. I have no interest in anything new regarding Cisco's dad. It's like, tell me in the chat, do you care about knowing more about Cisco's dad? Like, no, we don't care. My good friend Steve Shives is never a fan of Lower Decks, but does love all other current Star Trek shows. Yeah, that tracks. I know Steve Shives. He's we don't agree on it on almost anything. So, imagine the post-credit scene as her recruiting Trip. Oh, that would be rad. Honestly, like that. Like I already watch a movie. I'm like, let's say you're semi-interested in the concept, and like she shows up on the original deck of like the Enterprise NX-01, and you see you see Trip from behind. You see that last of that scene or whatever. That would be interesting. I gotta be honest, it'd be interesting. I'm just saying. Maybe because I love Trip so much. I love Archer. I love, that show. Maybe anything that acknowledges them makes me happy. I don't know. Yeah, Legends of Tomorrow was the most pointless people in history that wouldn't damage the timeline, but also but they had some kind of utility, right? They had some kind of powers or whatever. Right, but in that show, he lied to him and said, "You're going to be legends, and I need your help now." So the whole point of Legends of Tomorrow is they were never actually legends. Like, they were nobodies that died nobodies, and nobody remembered their name. And the point of that was it wouldn't hurt the timeline if they did die on that mission. I thought it was a very clever show. Very clever, in my opinion. What is Sentai Ranger Donnie says Prodigy is the only current Star Trek show to not have profanity overall, or adult situations. Yeah, because it's rated. It's for kids. Yeah, it's for kids. I like Prodigy too. I mean, I don't like it in like I'm not excited about watching more Prodigy, but I like that I can watch it with my kids, and it doesn't stress me out about what's gonna happen on screen, All right. Well, tell me what you guys think about this. I mean, is anyone here at all remotely excited about Section 31? Because apparently it's happening very soon. I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but it's coming out like this year, if I remember. I think it's this year, actually. And we haven't even seen a trailer or anything. It's crazy. Yeah, it already finished shooting in March. When is it happening? Oh, on IMDb, the release date says just 2025. So it's probably going to be top of the year, 2025. January, February, probably February. So I would assume that we'll probably be seeing trailers or something come out for it toward the end of the year. Or maybe like a Comic-Con release or something like that. Some kind of trailer hype day or something. Yeah. Yes. So it says it was originally supposed to be coming out February 2nd, 2024. So they're expecting it in February 2025. So that's what's coming out. When is Starfleet Academy coming out? Not that I care. I'm not even gonna watch that. Yeah, Starfleet Academy. I love this. If Starfleet Academy actually starts shooting, it will come out sometime in late 2026. It hasn't even started shooting yet. It said Starfleet Academy is slated to start filming episodes 10 episodes this summer, but that's not happened yet. So they have not actually started shooting Starfleet Academy, but they say they're probably going to start shooting this summer. All right, well, we're in summer, so. Honestly, I would not be surprised at all if it just didn't happen. Honestly. Okay. Let's talk about this Dr. DisRespect. I guess Danny's still on the way. I'm sure he'll be here at some point. All right. Does anyone here know who Dr. DisRespect is? Anyone? If you don't know who Dr. DisRespect is, then you probably haven't been on Twitch very long, because he was incredibly popular. I mean, he still is. So Dr. DisRespect is this guy. He's a Twitch streamer, or former Twitch streamer, now a YouTube streamer, because Twitch dropped him. When Twitch banned him and dropped his contract, he sued Twitch, and Twitch ended up having to pay it out. They wouldn't tell him why he was banned. So new information from a former Twitch employee says that he was banned from the platform in 2025 over inappropriate text to an underage girl. A lot of people are assuming that, a lot of people are saying that she was 17. But we have no information, just so you know. The only information we have up until his statement was that this guy said that the reason, he basically said, F it, I'll tell you why. The reason he was banned was because he was chatting with an underage girl, having inappropriate text messages with an underage girl on their Whisper program. Whisper is like chat on Twitch, right? And then he went on to promote his band, and he said, check my band out. So he was using this like bombshell to promote his band. Most people immediately wrote that guy off. They said, like, give us receipts or F off. And then enough people talked about it where Dr. DisRespect himself came out, and he did say, I'll tell you right now what he said. He did say, where is it? Oh, there you go. Where's his actual tweet? Oh, there he is. Tweeted. This is what he said. No, that's not. That's not the right tweet. That's that weird guy. Where's his damn tweet at, dude? Oh, there it is. So this is what he tweeted. The Twitch ban. Hello, I'd like to make a quick statement. Let's cut the effing BS. As you know, there's no filter with me. I've always been upfront and real with you guys on anything that I can be upfront about. And I'm always willing to accept responsibility, which is why I'm here now. First and foremost, I do want to apologize to everyone in my community, as well as those close to me, my team, and everyone at Midnight Society Game Studio. That's his game studio, of which he was removed recently. He was like the CEO or something, and they fired him over this. And I'm going to get to the good stuff here. I'm just going to scroll down. He goes, were there Twitch whisper messages with an individual minor back in 2017? The answer is yes. Were there real intentions behind those messages? The answer is absolutely not. These were casual, mutual conversations that sometimes leaned too much in the direction of being inappropriate, but nothing more. Nothing illegal happened. No pictures were shared. No crimes were committed. I never met the individual. I went through lengthy arbitration regarding a civil dispute with Twitch, and that case was resolved by a settlement. Let me be clear. It was not a criminal case against me. No criminal charges have been brought. So he goes on and says he's going to take responsibility, blah, blah. There are people coming out that says that he didn't even know that the girl was 17. It was one of those Twitch thoughts, you know, like the girls that game with, like, you know, low cut tops and all that. And I guess what people are saying is his camp is saying that he basically cut it off when he realized that she was underage. I don't know. All we have is what the fired Twitch employee said in an attempt to promote his ban, and then what Dr. DisRespect said when he actually tried to edit the minor part out when he said that, but then you can go back and look at edit history, so that was dumb. And he said, look, in 2017, I was chatting with a individual minor, and it got, you know, it was bordering on inappropriate, and that's it. First off, I'll just start with this. Talking to any young girl under the age is wrong. It's grooming. It's horrible. You shouldn't do that. Obviously, I think that if you're an active, like, pedophile, you should probably be murdered. I totally think that if you are actually attempting to molest a child, that you should have your testicles, your reproductive organs removed, and then placed in jail the rest of your life, or chemically castrated. That's like the minimum sentence I would give you. The maximum sentence would be me murdering you in the public square. So I hate those kind of people. I do not think, though, that Dr. DisRespect, and this is just my opinion, I don't think he actually knew this chick was 17. I don't think he did. I think that he's we already know this. He's a horny old man who chats up women on the internet all the time. He's been very clear about that. There's so many times that he cheated on his wife and did cam shows with trannies and stuff. He is not a pious man. Like, he is definitely an oversexed dude. But I don't think that he was going out of his way to target a minor, 16, 17-year-old or whatever she was. I don't think he did that. I don't think he even knew at the time. And which is probably why there's no criminal case. There's nothing. And which is also probably why he won that settlement against Twitch. Obviously, it was dumb of him to do. He shouldn't have done that. That was really stupid. But I think people are really not looking at all the facts, in which we don't actually have any. The reason why this wasn't publicized sooner was because most journalists don't have enough information to run this story. Don't you think journalists would love to run this story? Dr. DisRespect banned from Twitch for being a pedophile or a groomer or whatever. Of course, but they didn't have enough information. All they had was this one dude promoting his band that said this is what happened. And then DisRespect came out and said, yes, in 2017, I talked to a girl that was much in the direction of being inappropriate, but nothing more. I don't think this is as bad as people are making it out to be. I think it's a blip. But he's being canceled in real time. He lost his sponsorships, all of them. YouTube is in the middle of like investigating him or whatever. It's probably going to blow over. But what I wanted to talk about was all the Twitch thoughts. All these Twitch hoes. People that use Twitch, which has an audience that is primarily teenagers. These girls that use Twitch to advertise their OnlyFans. They're coming out and just blowing up and just dunking all over Dr. DisRespect. And my thing is like, you need to stay out of it. because your entire career is based on you getting young teenagers addicted to your OnlyFan grift via the video games they're playing. So you play a video game in revealing clothes and you advertise your OnlyFans on a platform designed for children. You have no moral high ground, so shut up. As far as disrespect, look, what he did was wrong. I don't think he's a pedophile, though. I think he's just an idiot. And I'm not some like Dr. Disrespect simp. I've never really watched him. I knew of him, but his content is made for like young people. And I'm not watching fucking, Fortnite or whatever. I have no interest in watching this guy play Fortnite. The only games I watch esports from time to time, and it's one game in particular, and it's high level. It's like millions and millions of dollars are on the line. So I watch TI every year, which means that like every year, the best teams in the world fight for like a $30 to $40 million prize pool. That's what I watch. That's it. That's the only thing I use Twitch for. Other than my own Twitch stuff, which is just me usually fumbling through a game. That's it. I'm not the consumer here. But I don't think that he's a pedophile. I think he's just an idiot. And I think that these Twitch girls that honestly have destroyed that platform because no one can get control of these people promoting their OnlyFans. They have no ground to speak. They need to shut up. And that's it. That's all I got to say on that. I just saw your message. Let me put your message up real quick. That was funny, dude. Let me put your message up real quick. Sorry, I lost it. 1 second. So this is what Chappie said. That's funny, my dude. When it loads. Sorry. Well, I'm just going to say what he said. He said, Chappie said he should... Oh, there he is. There it is. He should shave his mustache and hair and rebrand as Dr. Respectfully Disagree. That's great. John Burns researched Jerry Seinfeld and the 17-year-old. Oh, I read about this. I read about that once before. Yeah, Jerry Seinfeld got caught with a 17-year-old. He had a 17-year-old girlfriend, right? Yeah. Jerry Seinfeld's controversial romance with Shoshana Lonstein-Gruss, who was a high school student he met in Central Park in 1993 when she was 17. He was 38. Yeah. Yeah, they didn't cancel him. That's all I'm going to say. I mean, look. Yeah, Chappie's right. Wood chipper for all pedophiles. Pedophiles, I believe, have no place in society. They need to be chemically castrated and made completely forced celibacy. Like they should not be able to breed. Minimum. But I don't think Disrespect is a pedophile. And Chappie has a good point here. Serious question. How would Dr. Disrespect know who's underage? Yeah, how would he know? Have you seen these Twitch girls? I wouldn't know. I have no idea how old they are. And I don't think they're advertising it because I don't think you can be like, think about this. I think you have to be 18 to have a Twitch account, I believe. I have to look that up. That's a good point. Like if he had a Twitch, if she was streaming on Twitch, then she would have to be 18. So he probably assumed she was of age. Let me see. I don't see. It actually doesn't. Oh, what? No, anyone can stream, but if you're under the age, okay, so this is what it says on Twitch. Anyone can stream, but if you're under the age of 18, make sure you have a supervision of a parent or guardian. So in order for you to stream on Twitch, if you're under 18, you have to have your parent in the room. Okay. So consider this. How would he know that she was underage? And I'm not trying to like defend his idiocy. Like, obviously it was idiotic. He has a wife and kids. Like, what are you doing, bro? But criminal wise, how would he know she's underage? How? It would only be in hindsight would he possibly know that. Because like according to the rules, your parent needs to be there. So I don't know. Yeah, he looks like Mario and he's a gamer. That's pretty much it. Yeah, that's it. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about this. John Burns, in fairness, and far be it from me to defend people on OnlyFans, but many on Twitch have moved to Kick for more money. Really? I didn't know that. This is how removed I am from Twitch. I literally only use Twitch. I stream my own gaming from time to time on Twitch at the podcast. And then I watch Twitch every year in August, October, somewhere in there, during the International. And the International, this is the International. International happens once a year, and it's the best gamers that play Dota, and they're basically playing the best teams, and they're basically playing for like an insane amount of money. So it's like, honestly, if you tell me we're competing for $50 million for anything, I'm gonna watch it, even if I don't know anything about it. If you're like, we're playing Go Fish for $50 million, like, dude, I'm watching that stream. Okay, I'm 100% watching that stream. But I don't know. Shabby, I've seen a 16-year-old looks 20, and that's why I don't even look at women unless they have crow's feet. Good point. I'm smart. Ready? I'm married, and I just look at my wife. It's that easy. I just don't cheat on my wife. And here's the thing. DisRespect, my dude. If you weren't cheating on your wife, you wouldn't have these problems. And I'm not judging you. Whatever. Like, you do whatever you want as long as it's not criminal. But if you weren't cheating on your wife, you wouldn't have the problems you're having right now. And from what I know about your wife, she's a good-looking woman. I'm not sure why you would bother cheating on your wife. You can just be with your wife. I've never understood that. Like, I know some dudes like just have to have different strains. Like they can't not have different girls. But I admire a good-looking woman, of course. It's a common joke, and you take a Latina woman and paint her green. I'm probably gonna be lusting after that person, right? I'm gonna be looking, but I would never talk to or do anything with anyone ever that wasn't my wife, and I don't understand why anyone would. Why wouldn't you just go be with your wife? I don't know. I guess I haven't. I guess I'm just not there yet. I've never understood why you wouldn't just, like, oh, you're horny? Go have sex with your wife, dude. Why are you hitting up girls on Twitch? Like, you already landed one. She's in the other room, dude. What are you doing? I don't know. I don't get it. All right. MVP Prime from Rolling Stone. I recall that Dr. DisRespect was made aware by the individual that they were underage during the conversation, after which he indicated that there was no problem to continue on. Oh, really? I guess I didn't read that part. That wasn't in a statement. Wait, where? Yeah, but where? I recall that Dr. DisRespect was made aware. Who recalled? Send me that link. Who recalled? See, that's hyperbole. Like, all we have is what DisRespect said and what this random person said. That's all we know, right? Let me actually search for that. Okay, so this is from the former Twitch employee, right? So he worked at the platform at the time that Doc was banned, and he had direct knowledge of the matter. He says, I recall that DisRespect was made aware by the individual that they were underage during the conversation. So he recalls that he was made aware, after which he indicated that there was no problem to continue on. The former employee says there was no confusion. Messages were sent after this, was acknowledged with no less graphic and in sexual explicit nature. Yeah, so I'm just gonna go with this, right? I don't believe you until I can see that. Because this specific former employee utilized this this information that he has to promote his band. So, like, the second you do that, I now look at everything you say with like a huge grain of salt. So you know what? Release the chat logs, dude, and I will. If he was like, "Oh, you're 17, sweet, even sexier," then I'm like, "Oh, well, he's a dick. Like, that's wrong." But I need to see that proof. Let me see the chat logs, bro, because just some random employee that no longer works at Twitch, advertising his band, decided that he's gonna say, "I recall this, I recall that." I just don't think I don't recall believing you until you show me something. Like, show me receipts. We don't have receipts anymore? We don't show proof anymore, and we just go like, that's what I remember. Oh, I'll take it. I don't know about that, dude. I'm going to need to see a little more information on what you're saying. So give me more. Give me more of what you're referring to. Show me some proof. And then I'll buy it. But yeah, you got a good point. So he's hot and heavy with, if this is true, Doc is hot and heavy with this 17-year-old that you probably didn't know was 17 at the time. Then she goes, "By the way, I'm 17. He's like, "Cool, whatever. Let's keep talking sexy." I mean, that's wrong. Plain and simple. You know, Doc clearly has some kind of like sexual addiction or something, because he was like hooking up with he was like chatting with another person. Someone actually just sent me this in our gaming channel. Oh, he was chatting with a trans worker. I can't say the word or I'll get limited on this stream. A trans sex worker who came forward saying that Dr. DisRespect cheated on his wife with them. That's so confusing. So I guess this person's pronouns is they, them. So the trans sex worker with pronouns they, them said that he was also chatting with them and asking for cam shows. So, like, look, obviously, like, Doc has like a problem. I don't know what that problem is. How underage was she? Are you referring to the underage girl? I think it's from what that post says, from what a lot of people are saying is 17. Again, I have no proof of that. I don't know if she was 17. I guess at some point, according to their article, at some point the girl did tell him that she was 17 and he didn't care. Ooh, Christopher Mays for $20. Why go to OnlyFans when you got this handsome gentleman right here? That's right. Hey, so funny joke. I actually started an OnlyFans called onlyfans.com/Klingon Warrior. And I had like Photoshop pictures of like hot Klingons, like Klingon men. And it got banned. It got banned. And there was never a reason. I just got an email that said, this guy has been banned, violating TOS or whatever. But I almost kept it going, man. I was just photoshopping like double dong Klingon. Hey, Danny's here. I see you, Danny. I see you there. Here comes Danny. What's up, Danny?
What up, bro? You can hear me, right?
I can. Did you hear about what we were talking about before this?
I was listening to everything. I couldn't be in the chat while driving as fast as I could, and then my car almost exploded. But I'm buying a new car Monday, so
okay.
Because this has been an ongoing problem, and the hotter it gets here,
so wrap up this disrespect thing before we go to the boys.
Wow. So, Dr. Disrespect is just an idiot. Plain and simple. True. You know, that's my take on it. He's just a dumbass. Does that make him an evil person? I don't know. I don't know the guy. Like you were saying, I need a little bit more proof, but he's definitely a dumbass, you know?
Yeah, he's definitely a dumbass. I never understood that. Like you have like this wife that you are deeply attracted to. I don't understand why people have to feel the need to go outside their marriage for relief when they have it right there.
Oh, dude, I don't like, you know, the girl I dated before Cece, I think you remember Cece.
Yeah.
So the girl I dated before her, we were together for a while. And from December of 2020 to February 14th of 2021, she was cheating on me.
No.
And yeah, and told me on Valentine's Day. That's the day I got into the wreck that gave me this hideous scar, gave me my one and only crime on my record, which was the DUI. Started this spiral effect. It's my fault. I let her do that to me. But it's just cheating just destroys everybody's lives involved. Like,
yeah, and I've never understood the concept. Like, if you're not happy, like, maybe they chose the wrong person. Like that's like maybe you chose the wrong person. But if that's the case, then leave that person.
Exactly. Why? Just
if you chose the wrong person, then leave. Like why? Yeah. I've never understood. I don't get it. I just don't get it, dude. I don't.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm just blessed because I'm deeply attracted to my wife, and if I start to feel the urge, I'm gonna go hit my wife up. I'm like, what's up, baby? How you doing, girl? You know,
right?
And if she's not in the mood, then let's go. I'll wait. But whenever you're ready, dude, let's go.
Yeah, just
want to take a shower?
Some aphrodisiacs,
right?
Some shellfish or something. I don't know.
Never understood it, man. Chappie said it right. Some men are just stupid. I guess you're right, man. All right, let's before we go to the boys, let's talk about these Superman leaks because the boys are going to take a lot longer. This is a quick thing.
Mm-hmm.
So we got Superman leaks. How you liking Clark Kent's broccoli cut, bro?
So when I saw this picture, I was like, Tony Khan. And for all you wrestling fans out there, you got to be feeling me. He looks like Tony Khan in that picture. It's crazy. That's what I thought at first. And then I was like, oh, he's a little bit too swole to be Tony Khan. And then I was like, oh, okay. That's a thing. That's going to be Clark Kent.
A lot of people are like, that hair is horrible. It doesn't even look like Superman. I'm like, isn't that the point?
But I mean, so is Clark Kent Jewish now? We got the Jew fro kicking.
I mean, this is like the modern haircut, though. Like, dude, every kid at my kid's high school is like, they look like this. The broccoli hair, they look like llamas, basically, with like that fuzzy thing, like and the hair is like really forward, like this. It's like What's up, bro? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you are you familiar? Do you know who I'm referring to when I say Tony Khan?
No, I'm not.
He's the owner of AEW and the Jacksonville Jaguars. And his hair, that's exactly how his hair looks. I'll have to find a picture.
So this is a popular haircut right now.
Yeah.
It makes sense in this day and age that you're gonna put him in a popular haircut that makes him look sort of like a dweeb. It makes sense. Like the whole point is he's not supposed to look like Superman, right?
But when he's Superman, like the other picture you showed, his hair is totally different. So is it magical hair also?
I think he just combs it back, dude. I don't think it's magical. I think he just combs it back. You know?
Yeah.
So
well, if they do the old school phone booth thing, well, I guess that's not possible now.
No phone booths.
There's no phone booths. Never mind. Yeah.
So this is very spoilery. First off, they're arresting Superman in this shot. This right here, the guy on the left is Rick Flag. So that's the guy playing Rick Flag.
Oh.
Coincidentally, he looks exactly like the same exact character he played in the Marvel movies. But whatever.
Who's that actor?
Frank Grillo.
Oh, that guy? Okay.
I want to say.
Okay.
I might be wrong.
Yeah. Crossbones?
Yeah, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's him. And on the far right, you have what's her name? Tex something. Basically, she's like made out of nanites or something. But this is the spoiler. This, I'm pretty sure, is Ultraman. And Ultraman is like a clone of Superman.
I read somewhere that was damn it, it's slipping my head. Not Boomer. I read somewhere that was somebody. It could be somebody else, but I can't remember. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it could be some guy from the future. I read that too.
Okay,
but that U is like, it's so spot on for Ultraman, dude.
Yeah.
And Lex Luthor's, and I can see like, what if Lex Luthor helped the military, design a soldier based on Superman's DNA, and now they're arresting Superman for something, This is Mr. Terrific. I guess I like that look. It looks okay, right?
Oh, I was about to make a blackface joke, but it's a black man.
It's a black guy. It's the guy. I actually like him a lot. He was in Blacklist. Very good actor. He's playing Mr. Terrific. Character is
it's
cool.
hard to see. For in my defense, so people don't get mad at me. The resolution I'm looking at is way lower than what you guys are looking at.
So this character has he's basically like a tech genius. And he has these orbs, and across his jacket it says "Fair Play." And it's based on Mr. Terrific. It's a cool character. Look him up, Mr. Terrific. I guess Mr. Terrific is gonna be a big part of this movie because James Gunn did say that he, after Superman, his next favorite character for this movie was Mr. Terrific. So it's cool.
Crazy.
There he is again. What do you think about the suit?
I don't like this. I haven't been impressed by anything I've seen. I have no desire to see this movie at all.
To be fair, we're not seeing it in all of its glory. We're seeing set photos taken with a cell phone. We're not seeing the CGI, VFX, all that.
No, fair enough. I mean, maybe when the trailer comes out, it'll be the coolest thing ever. I don't know, but so far, everything I've read, everything I've seen, even the promotional photo that James Gunn himself put out, I'm just not, just not feeling any of it. I'm kind of, it's like when, you remember when with Andrew Garfield, Amazing Spider-Man came out, and people were just kind of checked out because, we've already got the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, and then now all of a sudden we've got this new Spider-Man. It's just way too, I don't know, it kind of reminds me of that. I just feel like it's, getting rid of Henry Cavill was stupid.
It happened though. So
yeah,
we gotta move on from that. Unfortunately.
No, I get it. But
so all right. So back to this. This is Nicholas Hoult playing Lex Luthor. He did shave his head. I think Nicholas Holt's a great actor. So I'm here.
I like Nicholas Hoult.
Yeah, he's great.
I think he'll do way better than the kid from that social media.
Yeah. Oh my god, I just forgot his name all of a sudden. Yeah, that guy. That weird. Yeah. Remember the Jolly Rancher?
Yeah.
Jolly Rancher. So weird.
Yeah.
All right, there he is. It's Mr. Terrific on his jacket. Fair Play. That's based on a really cool character. I think it's based on a wrestler too. There they are. They're working together for some reason. Who cares? Okay, this is the good stuff. That is Lois Lane. Lois Lane, played by Rachel Brosnahan. And
they've got her looking very Margot Kidder-ish, and I do like that.
Yeah, look at that. She's wearing like the Lois Lane purple. I mean, definitely looking. Yeah. It works.
Yeah,
she's coming out of what appears to be the T ship, which is like a.
I do like that casting.
Rachel, that was perfect casting. Rachel Brosnahan is perfect casting, I think. And then we also have this guy.
Is that Perry White?
Perry White, dude. Yes. Also good casting. I'd be like, why isn't he white? I'm like, who cares? I don't care about this guy being white. It's fine.
He was Commissioner Gordon, right? In the Batman? Am I right on that?
I don't know, actually. I don't want to say yes. I don't know.
I'm sure there's somebody in the chat. Oh, somebody in the chat. Jesse Eisenberg. Thanks. That was
the guy.
Yeah.
Weird dude.
While you're scrolling through these, because I was listening, and I really, 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 really hate that I was late. I mean, I closed a big deal and made a lot of money, so that was nice. But I was listening to the whoever wrote that Star Trek captains list should lose all nerd cred whatsoever. Should not be allowed to write about Star Trek anymore. I want to start some kind of campaign. Like, if I were a supervillain, if I were Homelander, I'd just blow her head off with my laser vision. That was just so disgustingly terrible.
Very stupid.
Article. Yeah.
Very stupid list. Yeah.
I just wanted to get that out there. Sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah.
So it looks like this is what the story is, from what I can gather. Potential spoilers. He is being arrested. He is in what appears to be zip ties. I'm pretty sure he can just bust through those suckers.
Didn't we do this in Man of Steel? This looks real familiar.
Yeah, they did. They arrested him. He gave himself up to like the Air Force or whatever.
Yeah.
But so this is the engineer. That's what this character is playing. Cool character.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not getting a lot here, but this is Ultraman. He definitely does subdue Superman. So whoever the guy with the U on his chest is powerful enough to subdue Superman, and that is the real spoiler, in my opinion.
So I think you might be right then.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, it makes the most sense for me that this character is, not this character, you know what I mean, the other character.
Yeah, that guy. Well, you just pay, but yeah.
Yeah.
That one.
That character is Ultraman. The logo is similar, and like they're covering him head to toe for a reason, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Why else would you do that? Because like the big reveal is that like he's gonna take his mask off and it's David Cornsweet underneath there.
Yeah.
And think about this. Wouldn't that make a lot of sense? That first photo that he showed us where you have like this battle bruised Superman slowly putting on his outfit, in the back, there's like a battle going on. What if that first photo that James Gunn sent us is not Clark Kent, but it's his clone?
Right.
It would make more sense.
It would. And Wolverine 626 in the chat. I appreciate your engagement and everything, man. Don't take this the wrong way, but I respectfully disagree with the whole no characters should be race or gender swap thing. You got to remember these stories were originally written way back when men and people of color, when women and people of color were never included in. I mean, I don't even think they had the right to vote when these characters.
Well, but that's not entirely true though, because like I do agree that main characters like Superman should never be race swapped or gender swapped.
But Perry White being, I don't.
But let me explain why real quick. Yeah. Because if you want a black Superman, there is a black Superman.
Right.
There already is.
Yeah.
You don't have to make him. You don't have to make Clark Kent black. There is a black Superman. In fact, I'm pretty sure there's like 3 black Supermen you can pick from. My favorite is Henry Steele. Go for it. Pick one. Yeah. Okay. You want a woman Superman? There is literally a woman Superman.
Supergirl. Yeah.
Yeah. You don't need to race swap. Now, when it comes to like characters like Perry White, though, Wendell Pierce is such a good actor. I'm at this point where I'm like normally I'd be like, I don't know about the race swap, but I'm like, I don't really care. It's a sort of a minor character. Wendell Pierce is going to kill it. If you ever seen that show Suits, he is phenomenal as that role. Phenomenal. So I don't really care.
So I was inadvertently, I wasn't trying to be racist. Jeffrey Wright was in the Batman. Again, thank you, Wolverine 626 for pointing that out. So I got that back. I got that wrong.
Was that a white guy?
No, it was a black dude, but that's why I said I was being somewhat. I didn't mean
I
to
see.
be. Yeah,
I mean, Wendell Pierce is great though. In the show Suits, he literally plays that character. I think he's gonna kill it. Again, it's a minor thing. I don't really care. It also sort of goes with what they did in Man of Steel, where they made Perry White a black dude with what's his name?
Lawrence Fishburne.
So it's fine. As long as the main characters, where their actual race and gender are part of that character, that is when I'm like, you cannot change them. Like, you can't make Snow White an Hispanic chick. I love Hispanic women, don't get me wrong. But Snow White's name, it's in her name. She is supposed to be fair skinned. Okay. Sorry, bro. Facts. Again,
funny.
if you want people of color and women superheroes, there is a lot to choose from. You do not have to change the ones that are already white. You just don't. Which drove me up when they were like, yeah, Michael B. Jordan is going to be playing a black Superman. I'm like, why? Why?
Well, I think he was playing like the idea was.
No, he was playing Clark Kent.
Oh, he was?
Yeah, they were going to make a black version of Black Clark Kent movie.
Okay, that would have been terrible. I thought that
David Zaslav came in and was like, "Oh, we're not doing that. You're out of fucking mind. Get out of here. We're not doing that." He canceled that deal. Also, it didn't help that J.J. Abrams never actually delivered anything other than like the concept of a black Superman. You should not be getting $1 billion deal and like your biggest delivery on that deal is like, how about a black Superman and a $500 million sci-fi show? A name I can't pronounce. Like, what? Like, you don't deserve a deal, dude. Sorry. All right. You know what casting I don't like? That guy's playing Jonathan Kent.
Yeah, I saw that. I wasn't a fan of that either.
That is not good casting.
I mean, if you want a realistic depiction of someone who dies of a heart attack far younger than they should have,
it's going to be a fat guy. That's true.
You know, as somebody who's had a heart, I've had a heart attack. I was 400 pounds, 2016, had a heart attack. Thankfully, it didn't kill me. Did motivate me to lose 200 pounds.
There you go.
30 of which I've gained back. I need to lose 30 pounds, but it is what it is.
Okay, well, let's know what you guys think about this. How do you feel about the set photos? We're going to get a lot more as we get closer to this thing. Like, you got to understand this is coming out early 2025, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they're wrapping this thing up in the next like 4 months, 5 months. We're going to see, they're going to be doing like editing and VFX and
all the post. Yeah, VFX.
Post. We're going to be seeing trailers like during Christmas releases and stuff like that. It's not that far away, believe it or not. Yeah, thank you, Wolverine. Dude, you are a wealth of information, my dude. July 2025.
Yeah.
July 2025. So, like, bro, we are a year away from this movie. And so I expect us to probably see our first trailer sometime in December.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, I'm with you too. I'm glad the S is back on the Cape. It's been a long time. I agree.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about the boys, my dude. Because we have.
Let's.
Unfortunately, we're gonna have to rush a little bit because we gotta then go in the middle section.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so I know not all of you have seen the boys yet, so this is important. We're gonna try to avoid spoilers, but we're also gonna talk about our favorite moments without giving those moments context. That makes sense? Right? All right.
Okay.
So, give me your favorite moment in this episode.
Oh, wow. Okay, so it's gotta be the farm.
Oh, with the buffed up chickens, bro, and the sheep and all that?
The final part where they... Yeah, I don't want to spoil anything. I'm trying to be vague. The final part.
The bull or the sheep?
The sheep, where the sheep are dropping like flies out of the sky.
Yeah, that was awesome.
That was
by the way, foreshadowing much? Right?
Right.
Like that's foreshadowing, right?
Yeah.
Really cool. Not my favorite moment, but definitely a cool moment for sure. Because I'm a hyper nerd about this, my favorite moment might have been like the history of Vought, like that going back and showing like the old movies. They're all fake, but like that was so reminiscent of like Disney and Disney Plus and Vought Plus. And,
dude, the whole that whole scene where they're like doing phases, whatever through whatever, looked exactly like
it was literally Marvel.
Thing.
Yeah, it looked like, and like what were they just have titles. There's no actual script or anything yet. Like this is happening in 6 years. It's like the Deep and the Hunt for Atlantis. And you're like,
so yeah, my girl was watching it with me last night. It was just really sweet of her because she hasn't seen any of them. And that part where the kid is telling the chick to slap him again,
oh
again.
yeah,
she was like, man, this dude's making a monster. I was like, baby, if you only knew, this guy's a psycho. Like that kid's gonna be wicked evil,
right?
Like,
which is why Butcher is trying to get that kid away from Homelander.
I'm almost starting to think it's too late. He was smiling. He had that sadistic
think about
smile.
this, like you have to deal with one Homelander that you can't kill, and now it might end up being 2 Homelanders you can't kill.
Yeah.
Right? You literally can't. Like, they're trying to figure out. They even said that even if the virus works on Soups, it probably won't work on Homelander. And you're like, what?
Yeah.
That's not good. So Homelander was born too, right?
No, he was made. I think the kid's going to be the most powerful of all the
No,
Soups
but they in the last episode they did say that he literally burst from his mom's womb with his floating with his umbilical cord still attached. So they made him, but they made him in the womb. Unlike other babies where they give them the Vought juice after the fact.
You're right. They did say that. Okay. Yeah. Oh my gosh. That was last week's episode when he did all that craziness.
That was crazy, bro.
Oh yeah.
All right. So I like that. I like the stuff with Simon Pegg. I think Simon Pegg is really showing his acting chops, dude. Oh my God.
I get
Simon
a lot of
Pegg killed it, bro.
He did. I get a lot of grief from people because I have a tendency to cry at scenes, and I cried when they had, you probably know what part I'm talking about, and without spoiling it, and that was the first time I'd cried in front of my girlfriend,
mm-hmm.
and it was so funny. She's like, baby, you okay? What's wrong? And I'm like, it's a thing. Don't worry. I can show. Because over Salty Trekkers literally made a compilation video of all the times I've cried. It's just sad. It's just, it's the man boobs. It's all the estrogen. So
real quick correction. Wolverine said Michael B. Jordan wanted to be Val Zod.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
So that may be true that he wanted to be that, but JJ did say that wasn't the plan. And it would make sense if that he would be Val Zod if that is the entire that all the superheroes on Earth 2 are black, right? Or pretty much all of them. That would make sense if that's the case.
Yeah. Archmage, I totally agree. I actually even mentioned it to my girl. Simon Pegg's American accent was the best it's ever been in that episode. It was really
great. He was great.
Yeah, and his performance was good.
Dude, what a crazy power. So
oh my God, yeah.
He's basically phasing out of everything and just murdering everyone. You know what sort of sucks? Imagine if he had not been brain dead. So because he was brain dead or whatever, he was forgetting things. Which
my girl was like,
dangerous.
Yeah, she was like, it's almost like he's got dementia. And I was like, well, he was brain dead when they did it. So
right. So he's brain dead. I'm sorry, Wolverine said so the Val Zod project was separate from the JJ. Oh. But JJ did want to do that though. So that's why that's the confusion.
Okay.
So there was a Val Zod project and the JJ. Yeah, JJ Abrams He's not a good. I'm really over J.J. Abrams and anyone connected with a bad robot nowadays. Like, it just seems like they just produce whatever they can that will give them as much money at the time, and it's always a detriment to the actual franchise. But to not get off topic, so they gave him the juice when he was already brain dead, so it brought him back and gave him powers, but like his brain's not all there, so he's in and out of reality.
And we still don't even know who gave him the V.
The mom did.
Yeah, well, that's my assumption.
No, that's what she said. I thought you wanted me to give it to him.
She did say that? I
Yeah.
must have missed that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is a little odd, but I mean, she had a good point. I was like, what's it going to hurt? They're pulling the plug, you know.
Yeah.
Apparently it hurts everyone else around them that he accidentally kills. So, yeah, so that was another saying. Yeah, the stuff with Ryan was definitely like foreshadowing to the extreme. How about the fact that Butcher cut that guy's leg off?
Oh my God. Yeah. I loved his line where he was like, sorry, mate. No more football in your future.
No more
Something
tennis
like
or something like that.
Yeah. It was funny.
So Jeffrey Dean Morgan, who plays
Monkey or whatever.
Yeah, whatever his name is. It's great because he's like, that's the old Butcher. Dude, every time Jeffrey Dean Morgan comes on screen, literally every single time, he just reminds me of the Winchester dad. He's such a badass, or the guy from Watchmen. He has such a menacing, but then also like his presence is both menacing and somehow safe at the same time. He's or Walking Dead. He has that character where you're like, you don't know if he's a good guy or a bad guy or a good guy doing bad things. You just don't know. And he really pulls it off. I really like the addition. And of course they added Jeffrey Dean Morgan because Kripke is going to be adding more and more of the Supernatural alumni as this happens. They actually announced that so Jensen Ackles plays Dean Winchester in Supernatural. Well, Jared Padalecki plays Sam Winchester. And he just announced that he's in talks with Kripke for the last season to make an appearance as a character. So you're going to get both Winchester bros on screen again, maybe even with Jeffrey Dean Morgan's character. How about that, bro?
Yeah, my mom will not let go of the whole I haven't seen Supernatural yet, like to the point to where she's just like, she hasn't dropped it since last week when I admitted that on your show. She every conversation.
You should watch it. What are you waiting for?
It's a little overwhelming. There's like 20 seasons or something like that.
Start at season 2, episode 1.
Okay.
You can literally like watch a recap for season 1 and be good with it. Season 1 is mostly episodic. They set the ground like they lay the groundwork for a couple of things that is sort of like the show. But if you wanted to skip an entire season, I don't know why you would, but you could skip season 1 and not really miss much because it's so episodic. And like, I don't believe the boys had all like their chemistry until season 2 anyways. So I would argue that season 2 is a better season. Also, there was a lot of film grain in season 1, which drove me nuts. Like honestly, as an editor and someone who makes videos and movies, like there was such an overuse of film grain in season 1. It's for me, it's hard to watch. I was actually getting angry with the amount of film grain that was on that screen. All right. Jeremy asks, what are Butcher's powers? Shooting out sentient tumors? Apparently. Remember that rabbit? The rabbit?
Dude, so when I said, because my poor girl was so confused. When I saw that rabbit, I was like, oh, maybe that's how he killed Ezekiel. Maybe he's like the girl, maybe the little thing that we see crawling around in his head. Maybe they Maybe it's like that. I don't know, but yeah, that was creepy.
We're gonna find out, dude. And man, am I here for it. I love the fact that Butcher has powers. And of course, because it's Butcher, it's got to be like gnarly venom powers. You know what I mean? It can't be anything cool. It can't be like, oh, I can teleport or I move very fast. And I was like, no, I have a sentient black ooze that's killing me that will also kill other people. Like, that's your power? That's a crap. That is both a terrifying and horrible power at the same time.
Yeah.
All right, I mean, that's it. Here's a couple hot takes that I guess I wasn't really interested in. I don't know why they're continually looking for the leak. Homelander was pretty sure that he had found the leak when he just murdered that random secretary. But then this episode,
that was beat up. That was
But this episode, we're still looking for the leak, and there's like this sort of, it's not even the B story, it's like a C story going on, where A-Train is worried about getting caught as the leak, and he tells the former CEO, like, we're in it together now, you gotta help me, and she basically frames someone else. But
she framed the guy that dumped her,
right? And and it's supposed to show that she's also pretty bad.
Yeah.
But I don't understand why we're still looking for the leak. To be honest, I don't really understand why we're still doing that. Like, I thought we had gotten over that. I thought when they killed that chick, it was to take them off the trail of A-Train so we can continue on with that character. But that's my only real criticism. I don't like parts of stories where you're showing me a part of the story that has no bearing on the rest of the story. It's just there to pad time for the episode. I feel like everything needs to be connected. And my favorite creative right now is Terry Matalas for this exact reason. You watch 12 Monkeys, you watch Picard season 3. Everything's connected. Like, everything has a purpose. Nothing is wasteful. There isn't a moment on screen that's wasted. And that's why I don't like C plots. Like, I don't like the C plot with the leak. I don't like the C plot with Frenchie's character. I committed a murder. Who cares, Frenchie? Stop. What are you doing? I know they're trying to like get they want to inject more gay stuff into it, so they have to create this drama between him and his boyfriend or F-buddy or whatever he is. And it didn't make sense. And now this episode's pretty much doubling down on his extreme guilt. I don't understand. Like, did he not feel that guilt the last 10 years? He's just now feeling the guilt. It's dumb, right?
I don't even want to. I'll get accused of things, so I don't even want to talk about it.
All I'm saying is I don't understand the Frenchie subplot.
I agree. It doesn't make sense at all. Like, yeah. It feels forced. All right, so Jeremy says something here. It isn't Homelander looking for the leak. It's Sage. So I see. Homelander thought it was already covered, and Sage is the one looking for it now. Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense. If it's Sage is like spearheading this thing still. And okay, that makes more sense. That makes me accept it more.
Mm-hmm.
I thought, it doesn't really have a bearing. I guess, okay, what's the point of it? What's the point of this now? They're going to kill that reporter or whatever, right? It's to show that the ex-CEO is just as bad as them because she literally serves up her ex-boyfriend after he dumps her to certain death, I mean, that just makes her just as evil, right?
Mm.
So maybe that's the purpose of it. So Sage pushes it, and Sister Sage pushes it, and the purpose of that was to show how evil that woman is. Okay, I'll take that. It seems like everyone in this show is like sort of pretty bad in their own right. Like even the good guys are also pretty bad people.
Yeah.
Like, everyone's a bad person in The Boys.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else you want to add to that about the boys for the member section?
No, I'm enjoying it. You know, there's some things that they're injecting into it that I'm. It hasn't completely turned me off. I'm still enjoying the show.
What is it? The political stuff?
No, it's really the Frenchie stuff. I don't think that has any. That storyline didn't even need to be involved whatsoever.
It literally doesn't have to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah. It serves zero purpose in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
It literally does nothing. It adds nothing to the story.
You can completely take that out,
and nothing would change.
Yeah, affects nothing.
And if you can remove something and nothing about the actual story would change, then it should never have been there in the first place.
Yeah,
that's it.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. We were going to the members section, and you know what? Danny so graciously did gift a bunch of members earlier, so a bunch of you were probably gifted a free membership. So this is what that means.
That was my penance for being late. I bought 10 memberships.
Well, you know, you should ask him to be 10 minutes late every week. Listen, we're going to the member section. If you're not a member, if you were not one of the lucky few that got those memberships and you want to become one, hit the join button below. If you don't got time, that's cool too. But hopefully you can join us. We're going to shoot the shit for about 20 minutes. We're going to talk about some spicy political memes. We're going to talk to you guys, and we're going to take our pants off. And that's pretty much it. That's what we're going to do in there. We're just going to we're gonna bro down, if you know what I mean. You know what a bro down is, Danny?
No, what's a bro down?
A bro down is when you just like the bros get together and they just like hang out.
Okay.
Like they just no judgment, just talk. So we're gonna bro down over there. All right, Jeremy, love you, buddy. Come on over if you can. If you can't, that's cool too. We'll see you next week. And what should happen is when the stream ends, it will just automatically forward you to the next stream. And so I hope you can join us. If not, that's cool too. I'll be back on Saturday for Salty Saturday, and next Thursday, Danny and I will be covering the next episode of The Boys and a bunch of other stuff. See you then. Danny?
Hasta luego, guys.
Oh, also, if you want to find Danny's channel, it's in the description.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
All right, guys. See you in a second.